Welcome to Holy Week. We're going to talk tonight about Holy Tuesday, which in many ways is the day of the temple. It's a day that Jesus spent a whole lot of at the temple. He spent a lot of time disputing with the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They were asking him a bunch of mostly trick questions until they dared not ask him any more. After he asked them, "So tell me," he goes, "where do you think John's authority came from?" And they were afraid to say from God, or he would have said, "Why didn't you listen to him?" And they couldn't say from men because they were afraid of the reaction of the crowd, because they were people who really cared about the opinion of people. So because of this, Jesus comes into really clear conflict with the religious order of his time. And this is where you start to see that this whole raising tension between him and the Sanhedrin, the Jewish high council, some of whom are Pharisees, some of whom are Sadducees, it's really starting to become extremely tense. And this is when they're really starting to think about, we need to get rid of Jesus, because Jesus is just creating many problems. We can't decide which he's going to do first. Is he going to lead the people in rebellion against us, or is he going to lead the people in rebellion against Rome? And they cannot make up their mind, and either of those is bad. So they're starting to talk, and they're saying, look, we got to get rid of this guy. And they are starting to discuss options for how they might do that. At the same time, Jesus has taken his disciples, and they're going up to the Mount of Olives. And you have this just incredible passage in Matthew 3 and 23 into 24, where he talks about the end of the world, what we call the end times. And he compares the coming destruction of the temple, which would eventually, as we said yesterday, would arrive in AD 70. And he compares it to the end of the world, where there is going to be this growing pressure, this growing tribulation, which is going to affect the whole church. And in the midst of this growing tribulation, there will be great revival. There will be tremendous an influx, a harvest of people believing in Jesus and coming into the kingdom of God. So at the same time, you have all of the things that the people count on and rely on. The whole religious establishment is being shaken. And at the same time, Jesus is saying, I'm about to do something really special. And if you look to me, you will have hope, you will have peace, and you won't be moved at all. Whether it's by the destruction of this temple, the second temple, or whether it will be by the difficulties of the end times. Because either way, you can take comfort in the fact that you know me and you're part of my kingdom. So as we look to this part of Holy Week, as we think about the temple and all that the temple meant to the people of Israel, the place where God's presence would dwell, the place where sacrifices happened and sin was atoned for, perhaps we've been doing the read through the Bible plan, and we've been looking at all of the things that the tabernacle did, where people saw the cloud of the presence of God and where all the sacrifices occurred. And the temple, of course, even more so than that. You'd say, well, wow, how can it get any better? But Jesus said, my body is a new temple. And and my body will be destroyed. Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. He says, I will be the new place where people and God can meet in my flesh through what I'm about to do on the cross. And then he actually carries through and he does it. So in this day where this question is, how can God and humanity come together? Jesus is saying, even in the most tumultuous of times, even when things seem like they can't get any worse, you can trust me to bring you together to God. And that's really what Holy Tuesday is all about. See you tomorrow, and I hope you've enjoyed your day.